has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. All right, into the coup de grace hour, the final hour of love on a Where Do You Hurt Wednesday. It's Ferrall and Carver High in New York City. Good to have you with us on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. We finish up the last game in baseball tonight out on the West Coast in Sacktown and then get Carver High's Taters.
Yeah, looking to stay hot with those. Really good start to the week for us as far as the Taters go. We hit two the last few nights on both the lists. Last game, Atlanta once again in Sacramento against the A's. Bryce Elder and Mitch Spence tonight. You know what I hear, Scotty? I hear fireworks after the 4th of July tonight in Sacramento. I can hear the match being lit right now. For this one. Minus 110 on both sides for the pick'em. Now it's 10.5. Now I know last night they scored 10 runs in the first 3 innings, and you actually had to hang on for dear life and get that white homer in the 8th to get over the 10.5. I don't think we'll have that problem tonight, Scotty. I think the Braves contribute tonight. They might not win, but they contribute because Spence stinks.
Yeah, but so does Elder Statesman. He's even worse.
He does.
Honestly, both of these guys have sky-high ERAs. I think it's an over. And I got to tell you, the way the Braves have been playing and not scoring and not winning, I'm actually taking the A's again. And I cashed a ticket with them last night, as you know. So I'm going back. This, to me, is a wild game with a lot of scoring, home runs galore. And I think the A's, I got them, I want to see the price I got them at today. Just hold on, just so I get this right. I got them at I didn't bet it, but I was going to bet it. And I think the thing is, when I was going to bet it, I bet them last night. When I saw it today, when it opened up, they were plus 116. And the action has been so heavy, they're now minus 107, right? It was at plus 116. I was going to grab it because I was like, Elder's awful. I mean, so is Spence, but the Braves have been so god-awful lately, losing and giving up. They have been outscored by 30 runs in this losing skid. What is it now? I mean, I can't keep track of it, how many games they've lost. Yeah. It's 11 of 13 or something. They're terrible. What have they lost? 5 in a row, 11 of 13? Yep. It's crazy. I'm on the A's.
Yeah, look, lots of long balls tonight. I'm thinking again. We know the A's hit them hard and hit them fast last night. I hope they do it again. I am going to take one from that game. Now, look, I like a lot of guys. It's kind of like Price, really, for me. I like Rooker again. I like the Butler again. But I like Kurtz the most. Kurtz plus 350. Hit a grand slam last night. I'm going to go right back to him. Now, Rice is out tonight. So no Rice-A-Roni for the Yankees. But I will substitute, Scotty, the Martian. I like Dominguez in the leadoff spot, and he's in the 450 to 470 range. We're going to go with Dominguez instead of Rice against that Bob Evans breakfast dinner.
And hasn't Wells been hitting home runs left and right, too?
Wells says he homered last night, and yes, he looks like he's starting to hit some long balls lately. But I will go Dominguez. Kyle Tucker's let me down a lot recently. I think he can get Uncle Festa tonight in Minnesota. So I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker at plus 420. Ketel Marte late night at Petco plus 470 against Fott. And how about this number tonight on Roman Anthony? Hit his first homer at Fenway. I'm taking a bit of a long shot here. 9-1 for Roman Anthony tonight. And Sentazella, Scotty, you know this. He stinks.
He's awful.
That guy pitching for the Rockies. Give me the big guy, Roman, at 9-1 for the Sox this evening. Let's go.
Yeah, and last night, remember you showed me all the favorite players to hit a home run last night. Yeah. And Story was the one, and he did hit one. I wouldn't be surprised if he hits another one tonight.
Good price, too. I saw him in the 6-1 range earlier today for Trevor Story. So that might be a good one to get yourself involved. Those numbers are telling me probably not a great night weather-wise for homers at Fenway because with Sentazella going and Giolito, you would think you should get some long balls. But we're going to try it anyway with a few of these guys. Let's go. So there you go. There's the baseball for tonight. All right, let's get a couple NBA things in now, and then we'll do the rest after Stewie. Mike Brown introduced yesterday as the new head coach of your New York Knicks. Let's just say, Scotty, very, very excited to be the new head coach.
You talk about a historic franchise. Madison Square Garden. It's iconic. Our fans, they're the most knowledgeable and passionate, probably in all of sports. There's a lot of work to be done. We have an outstanding roster. What they did in the playoffs shows their potential. I've had great conversations with all of our players, and I'm looking forward to growing positive, strong relationships with all of them over time.
Well, okay, whatever. Okay, honestly, I'll say this. Someone said to me, believe it or not, 34C said it, because she knows I like the Knicks. And my son said, I told you that Mike Brown was getting that job. And she said, who's Mike Brown? And I said, he was the coach in Sacramento. And you know what she said? Who wouldn't want to leave Sacramento for New York? That was it right there. Who wouldn't want this job over that crappy job? I mean, let's face facts. That's a crappy job.
Sacramento, but it's a great place to live. It's a great place to start a family. And it's Northern California, and just
look,
the whole.
I like it. I like it a lot better over there in the city right near the water. Okay, and the Sacramento is. I'm not Sacramento. No offense. I've been to Sacramento. I loved it. I had good times there. But I'm not taking it over San Francisco ever, and neither is anyone else.
Let's slide one more in with Big Mike. Hopes to build on what Tom Thibodeau did in New York.
Well, here we go.
Like I said, I thought Tom Thibodeau did a great job, and the guys did a fantastic job last year. But I'm looking forward. We got, we just added 2 new additions to the team that are going to bring a lot of versatility to how we're going to play. I just can't wait to get on the court and start implementing things that we want to do offensively to help us grow and take it to another level. But, we still got some time before we do that.
Yeah, I just, it's all a lot of, garbage to me.
Coach speak.
What is this guy going to do differently than Tibbs in terms of the team that they had that lost in 6 in the Eastern Final? They lost in 6. They're already right there on the doorstep. You're telling me that this guy's going to make them score more? What did he do in Sacramento? He had one good year, and then what happened this year? They were terrible. This guy has been through every job. He's like a lawnmower. He's mowed through so many jobs. Okay, so he's recycled bottled water again, as far as I'm concerned. Now, they love Mike Brown. You can't tell me he's better than Tibbs. I'll give you a dead heat. I'll give you, okay, they're even. Fair enough, right? Okay, he's as good as him, allegedly, all this other. I don't believe it. I thought they had this coach, and they screwed it up and got rid of him.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday. You know it. It's a Golf Wednesday on C2C as we are heading across the pond. Two of my favorite weeks of the year, the Scottish Open and then the Open Championship. Links Golf, it's all happening. Incredible field this week. And as you always know, Keith Stewart from Read the Line is with us every week to give the preview, the picks, everything that you need from Read the Line to get you set for this week's tournament. They're actually tournaments, plural, I guess you could say. We've got that Jabroni event in Kentucky, the ISCO, if you want to get involved with Cam Champ at 28-1. But Keith, we'll stick with Scotland for now. How are you, my man?
I'm doing great. I mean, Emiliano Grillo at like 11-1. You don't want that out in Kentucky on a golf course we've never heard of. It's a Golf Wednesday, Mike. It's all awesome. I love coffee golf.
Me and Cam are on Jackson Sumer at 65-1 at the ISCO this week. So we've got some kind of action there, Keith. We're not going to completely leave it alone. Let's go to the Renaissance Club. Actually, before I get there, really fast.
All right.
I know that it's the Tractor Tournament and the Rocket. They had a couple great finishes, Sundays on the PGA Tour. I know they weren't majors and signature events, but those were some great golf you got to watch the last couple Sundays.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And you know what? I have empathy for David Lipsky because the way he finished the John Deere was like the way that I finished the Rocket with two guys in the playoff and still lost, right? I mean, no, all kidding aside, the John Deere was fantastic, right? I mean, if you had on your bingo card to start the year as multiple winners this year, Ryan Fox, Brian Campbell, and Ben Griffin, I just want to let you know that Read the Line is hiring, okay? Anyone who has had those three guys as multiple winners this year, it's phenomenal. When you get to these regular season events where there's a cut, 150 guys, there's so much drama. I mean, it's a shame that more people weren't watching the Tractor Tournament, but those that did were absolutely entertained, Mike.
They sure were. All right, let's get over now, of course, to the Renaissance Club, the Genesis Scottish Open. You talk about a major level field, a signature level field. That is precisely what we have this week, Keith. Let's start it off, of course, with how we always do. Anything different about the course and or what's the weather, which is always tricky on the other side of the pond this time of year?
You know, Mike, just a quick aside, this should be a signature event. One of the places like RBC, I know all the sponsors are important, but like one of the courses like RBC or the Travelers or whatever, this should be a signature event. It's such a good preview. 8 of the top 10 players in the world. We're going to the Renaissance Club for the 7th time in a row. The last 6 have been pretty good. We're talking about entertaining endings over there at the Rocket and at the John Deere. The first 3 Scottish Opens that were played here were all playoffs. And the last 3, since it was co-sanctioned, were all won by 1 stroke. So that's some pretty good Sunday brunch activity right there, if you ask me. They added a couple yards to the golf course. What's unique about this place is the scorecard, right? It's got 5 par 3s and 3 par 5s. You get a par 70 out of that. Weather, I know you want to go there. Mike, guess what? It's actually perfect for golf over there in Scotland. They're going to get like high 60s, low 70s. The wind is going to be somewhat calm. Again, that's like 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts over that on the Firth of Forth right there on the coastline there in North Berwick. But guess what? That's not that bad. This thing's probably going to end up being pretty much a birdie fest.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to lead to potentially some lower scores than maybe we're sometimes used to in events like this. I mean, that we could get, I know you usually know what the over-under is in terms of the par for the week, but I'm going to guess that we can get into the double digits, 10 to 15 range for a winner.
Well, Mike, in the 6 that they've had here, Aaron Rai won the one in October, the COVID year, so different time of year. The other 5 were in July. Xander's was bad weather. The other 4 averaged 18, little over 18 under par for the winning score. Vegas has it this week at 16.5. They expect some birdies. And that's the thing with golf over there in Scotland. You can't make these golf courses too hard because when it starts blowing and you get that real weather, like the course becomes unplayable. So this thing's going to lay down a little bit this week. You got to get some birdie or better, guys. And we have a cut and play this week and next week, 156 players. But the breakdown is really important to understand here, Mike. This is a co-sanctioned event since 2022? So the DP World Tour has 72 players playing this week, and we've got another 84 from the PGA Tour. Now, when everybody starts building out their DFS lineups and they start building out their betting cards, they're like US, 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 US. Guess what? Over the last 3 years, 45% of the guys on average that make the cut are from the DP World Tour. You got to do your homework here. There's no strokes gained. You got to read the line. You got to watch Golf Wednesday. You got to get the right names because those DP World Tour guys are going to make the cut and they're going to play a role.
They certainly are. Let's start your outrights. We usually like to feature one of your guys to get things going, and I think we really need to feature Collin Morikawa this week. We've talked a lot about caddy changes with him. But, I mean, I was very surprised to read Monday morning when I saw that he's going to grab Billy Foster for the next 2 weeks while he's across the pond.
Yeah, I love this move, and that's why I'm all over Collin this week. There's no doubt that Collin's game has been in good enough form this year, last year, in order to win. He just racks up top 10s and top 5s. He was 8th at the Rocket. He certainly could have played a little better there and put himself in real contention to win, right? He's 11th in this field off the tee. He's 4th in approach, right? And Billy Foster, who used to caddy for a bunch of different guys, but most recently Matt Fitzpatrick when he won the U.S. Open at Brookline there at the Country Club, he's a no-nonsense guy. He's going to be direct, right? And I think with all the drama that's going on in Collin's world, I love this shift. And I think there's going to be a honeymoon period. I think right away, Collin's going to get a lot of direct answers, and he's not used to that. And I think that's going to kind of let some air out of the balloon for him. I think, Billy's going to perform a little bit of like a protective layer around him, almost like Stevie Tiger. I think it's a really good situation for Collin, and at plus 2,500, some of the other names in that area, right? I really like his chances in order to play very, very well this week. Give us a little Morikawa magic on Sunday.
Collin, just grab the 7. Enough with the math. Put the book away. Grab the 7 out of the bag and hit it. You get a little bit of that out of Billy Foster this week with Collin Morikawa. All right, we'll come back. We will get the rest of the outright picks from Keith. I know the ladies are playing this week. He's actually got a surprise prop for me that I don't know about yet either, which I'm very interested in. Keith Stewart, read the line. The Scottish Open. Back with more after this.
I say, you crank that Soldier Boy, right? You Darvish back on the mound. Haven't seen this guy in a minute right now. Yeah, man, crank it, man. Get it going up. Get the high. Yeah, let's go. Crank that Soldier Boy up here. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. That was big back then. Where were you? Senior high school? Or maybe even in grade school?
Dude. Bar mitzvah slate. In the bar mitzvah slate each and every weekend. The young Benny Steve was out there hitting it.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I mean, Houston beat the snot out of the Dodgers, 18-1. And this is what happens here. Oral Hershiser doing the game for the Dodgers brings up the cheating scandal, going, they must know the science because they're hitting curveballs like they know it's coming. It's like, oh boy, does he really want to go down that rabbit hole again here? I think this is one of those nights where they got destroyed. Yeah, hey, it happens in baseball here. But just found that an interesting comment by Oral Hershiser. Start bringing up the cheating scandal again.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Things you have to look at is what the team has the following day, especially when it comes to bullpen usage. You know, a lot of the things I like to attack is you see these extra inning games, these games get thrown out, these bullpens get worn, or if someone gets shelled the first 3 innings and they got to go to the pen, early, that's a good spot to kind of hop in the middle of the next game. You got a tired bullpen, right? You try and take advantage there, maybe with an over, maybe with the money line. You're getting plus money on a favorite at that point.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Tony Gwynn had 107 career at-bats against Greg Maddux. Never struck out once.
Oh, that's nuts.
In 107 times. 107. Cam, if you took the modern player and said, are you going to face Maddux 107 times in a row? Like Vlad Guerrero Jr. and these guys, they'd strike out like 62 times type thing.
Exactly.
It'd be like 80 times. It'd be like whiffing.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back. Ferrall, coast to coast here on a Wednesday, a Golf Wednesday on C2C. Keith Stewart from Read the Line is with us, as he is every week, getting ready for this week's event, the Scottish Open, Genesis Scottish Open, of course, at the Renaissance Club across the pond in Scotland. All right, Keith, you told us about Morikawa. Who else do you have for the outright card?
All right, the next one, I mentioned a little Morikawa magic on Sunday, maybe. How about a little Matt Fitzmagic, a little Fitzpatrick, right? We're going back to the UK. The ball striking has started to come around, plus 4,500 in 6 trips to this place. He's got a couple top 10s. He's got a 14th. He was 17th at the Travelers, 8th at the Rocket. The one thing that's kind of been lacking lately, the ball striking has been much, much better and where it should be for him. The putter's been a little bit off. You put him back in the UK on these fescue greens, I think he's going to pop. The other guy, Max 50 Shades of Grazerman. This guy, the prototype player we're looking for this week, Mike, is long. He's aggressive off the tee. You can pretty much hit it anywhere. There's no trees. The fescue isn't that penal. You just can't get in those fairway bunkers, right? The guys hit like 70% of your greens. So we want drivers, wedge guys, and putters. We want guys who can score. That's why, a guy like Max Grazerman and the way he's been playing lately, I just absolutely love it. He's gained strokes total in 5 of his last 6 events. He's gained 5 in a row with the driver and on approach, and he's a great putter. I love this move.
Let's go to the placements now. And the lead guy that you have on here, I watched Xander Schauffele yesterday at his media availability talking about, I'd just be happy if I played 4 rounds this week with the same exact swing and just be happy about how I'm going. He's got to turn it on a little bit here because right now he's not in the playoff, and he's got to start piling some points up.
I actually think that, the kind of the cross-Atlantic cleanse, right? I think that this is a great spot for Xander because when he goes over there, similar to like Colin, getting away from the media and kind of just concentrate on the golf, the trees go away, Xander can just blast away, and he is one of the best link style players. He's such a good scrambler. There's so many shots over here at the Renaissance Club that you have to play from like under 100 yards, and that's his sweet spot. he's got a 10th year, a first year, a 15th year. He's very, very good. A top 10 again, I could totally see it. Top 20 guys, Tommy Fleetwood. If we're not betting him to win, he's going to cash this bet. He's been very, very good. He's the third betting favorite, and we're getting a positive number for a top 20. I'm going to take that one for sure. He's got a second, a fourth, and a sixth year in 5 different starts at the Renaissance Club. And then another guy. I have positive reaction to Corey Connors' wrist being okay. This is the perfect type of place for him, right? And this year he has 15 starts. Like 8 of them are top 20s, right? So at plus 250 and the type of ball striking that you're going to need around this place, and you don't have to be the world's greatest flat stick aficionado. I love Corey at top 20. Top 40 guys, I'm going to lean into the DP World Tour. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson. The guy is an absolute straight flusher, right? We've heard his name many times before, right? He was 12th at the U.S. Open. He was 14th at the BMW last week on the DP World Tour. This guy, he can hit it. First time there. But you know what? Tom Doak's design here for the Renaissance Club it's a little bit more target related, a little bit more Americanized. So I love his style of golf there. And then the other one, Marco Penge. When I saw this guy at Quail Hollow, Mike, when I saw him on the range hit it and I heard it, I almost tripped over a range bench. I was like, who is this guy? He absolutely rips at it, right? And he's already won it this year. He's played great on the DP World Tour. He's a perfect fit for there because this is a bomber's paradise.
Let's do the head-to-heads and then throw the surprise prop for me on after the head-to-head.
Okay, quick head-to-head. Adam Scott over JT. Adam Scott, his whole career, because he comes from the Sandbelt over in Australia, he's great on this tight turf, link-style play. I'm taking him over JT. JT in his last 3 starts here, he has a miscut, a 60th, and a 62nd. Last year, Scott was runner-up. Now, here's my surprise one. Scheffler's in the field, and at Read the Line, I search everywhere for an angle on Mr. Scheffler, right? How about this one, Mike? 3rd-round leader, plus he wins for plus 800, right? Ooh. Right now he's plus 450 to win. You can almost double your money, and all he has to do is lead Saturday. Again, here's the thing. Yes, there's 2 things that have to take place there, but this is not a parlay. All we're saying is that if Scotty plays to Scotty's level, right? And the last time he was there, he was 3rd. If he plays Scheffler golf, right, there's a good chance both of those hit, and you're going to get plus 800.
30 seconds, Keith. Ladies are playing their 4th major of the year in France this week. Who do we got?
Coffee golf for the ladies, too. The first one, I'm taking one of the favorites, Gino Titicul, plus 1,100. She's over 10-1. She's had 4 top 20s here. She played here. Her first start here, she was an amateur as a teenager. And the other one is Esther Hensley, top 20 plus 150. Even take her at 50-1 to win.
Keith Stewart, Read the Line. Golf Wednesday. We're back after this.
I say, you crank that soldier boy, right? You Darvish back on the mound. Haven't seen this guy in a minute right now. Yeah, man, crank it, man. Get it going up. Get the high. Yeah, let's go. Crank that soldier boy up here. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. That was big back then. Where were you? Senior high school? Or maybe even in grade school?
Bar mitzvah slate. In the bar mitzvah slate each and every weekend. The young Benny Steve was out there hitting.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Houston beat the snot out of the Dodgers, 18-1. And this is what happens here. Oral Hershiser doing the game for the Dodgers brings up the cheating scandal, going, they must know the science because they're hitting curveballs that they know it's coming. It's like, oh boy, does he really want to go down that rabbit hole again here? I think this is one of those nights where they got destroyed. Yeah, hey, it happens in baseball here. But just found that an interesting comment by Oral Hershiser. Start bringing up the cheating scandal again.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Things you have to look at is what the team has the following day, especially when it comes to bullpen usage. A lot of the things I like to attack is you see these extra inning games, these games get drawn out, these bullpens get worn, or if someone gets shelled the first 3 innings and they got to go to the pen, early, that's a good spot to kind of hop in the middle of the next game. You got a tired bullpen, right? You try and take advantage there, maybe with an over, maybe with the money line. You're getting plus money on a favorite at that point.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Tony Gwynn had 107 career at-bats against Greg Maddux. Never struck out once. Oh, that's nuts. In 107 times. 107. Cam, if you took the modern player and said, are you going to face Maddox 107 times in a row? Like Vlad Guerrero Jr. and these guys, they'd strike out like 62 times type thing. Exactly. It'd be like 80 times. It'd be like whiffing.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Always good to get a double shot in from Stewie. Read the line zone. Getting ready for the Scottish. And also, I heard him talking to you about the Open at Portrush starting next week, which is just going to be phenomenal. A week from tomorrow.
I can't wait. We, especially us here on Coast to Coast, it's our favorite major of the year. The Open Championship. Thankfully, it's coming on a week where there's really nothing else going on. It's going to have a lot of attention on it. I'm pumped for the Open in Northern Ireland at Royal Portrush a week from now. A couple things before I move on with the baseball, some stuff that's happened in the last 20 minutes. The Dodgers did lose that game in Milwaukee. So 6 in a row for the Dodgers, their first 6-game losing streak since April of 2019. I guess the only thing we could say is, what a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame. They've lost 6 games in a row. How upsetting. And also, we have a game that's been washed away this evening, unfortunately. The Mets and the Orioles. The Mets and the Orioles will not be
worse
playing
by the minute
at Camden Yards tonight, as it is just too much rain. I believe they're going to play 2 tomorrow. If what I saw is correct. I don't know if they've scheduled that yet or not, but I know that they are going to obviously have to make that up at some point. All right. And 2-0 Tampa. Top of the second. They've started in Detroit with that game as well. So 2-0 Rays out of the gates against the Tigers. All right, more NBA for you.
I'm not seeing that as a doubleheader tomorrow. I'm just seeing them playing at 105.
Yep, they have the split doubleheader tomorrow. Just this is from Puma, who covers the Mets for the Post. They haven't updated all the websites. Yes, they'll do 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So noon and 5. Split doubleheader for the Mets and the Orioles tomorrow afternoon.
So is that noon game the game that I bet on tonight?
If they keep the same pitchers, I would say that they would void whatever you played today, and you'll have to reload in the morning. That would be my guess.
I'm going to jump on that. I'm going to jump from that. I'm jumping right off of that boat over to the A's.
More NBA stuff. Chet Holmgren, 5 years, $250 million rookie max for him in OKC. Lots of money for Chet.
Hold on 1 second. I wanted to say one thing about that. Today I was talking to Gunner, who's a huge Thunder fan, and he said and next year they got to pay J-Dub, and then they'll be out of money. So every guy is under contract forever on that team, and the last guy to get the bag will be J-Dub, and Williams will get that money, and then they'll have all these great players, but they'll have no money left.
Well, remember, the NBA, it's a salary cap, but if you're signing your own players, it's like it's not. So you can, as long as you're re-signing your own guys, it could keep going up. You're just going to have to pay that.
One guy's $285 million, another guy's $250 million, and you can't tell me that J-Dub isn't better than Holmgren.
Yeah, he's going to get that same rookie max extension next year as well. So that's
how do you pay 3 guys $1 billion?
Well, you better keep winning NBA championships and getting all that extra revenue stream.
I think they will. I do think they'll. Right now, there's no way I pick anyone over them in that league, and their win total is 62. So I'm on the over there as well.
I do have that. We'll see if we can get that in today. If not, it could be saved for tomorrow. We're going to see how that goes. Joker tells the Nuggets he doesn't plan on signing an extension this offseason. Now, a lot of people immediately ran to, oh, they're going to have to trade Joker. You got to remember something. If he waits till next year, he can get $80 million more than what he could get this offseason because of how the NBA extensions work and the max contract. So
who
can you
wouldn't
blame
do
the
that?
guy? Who wouldn't wait another year and get – now you run the risk of him saying next year, I don't want to sign either, but I don't fault him for waiting on this one because there's $80 million more on the table next summer.
You know, he acts like he wants to go back to Serbia and race horses, but I think that's what it is, an act. At the end of the day, when someone puts $300 million in front of you, that buys a lot of meal for those horses. Believe me, he's going to take that money. He's not going anywhere. He's going to do that big, fat last deal and play for 5 more years, and that's just all there is to it.
It is all there is to it. The Wizards trade Kelly Olynyk to the Spurs for Malachi Branham and draft picks. Big trade in the NBA.
I honestly didn't think that they needed him at all. I know they said they just added another big, but what they really added was a guy that's old to a young team, right? Like, that is a very young team. And now they got, like, this is not like getting Hartenstein and Caruso. Kelly Olynyk is, decent at best. Like, honestly, what is the difference between him or Kevin Love? I mean, at this point, like, they need him like they need a hole in the head.
He's old. He's finished. Is really what it comes down to.
We're not nice here. We don't
we're not nice.
I've never known him. Has he ever been better than decent? He's decent. He's big guy. I'll give you that. That's why he made the NBA. I think he's a decent player at best. I mean, calm down.
Anthony Davis, I didn't think we'd do this summer, but what do you know? Another procedure, repaired a detached retina that he suffered during the season. He's expected to be healthy for training camp, but as with Anthony Davis, hold all tickets until the results are official.
So,
you never know.
I don't want any part of a detached retina. Like, that's a problem.
No,
you know what I mean? Like, they fix it, and do they really fix it? Now, here's the other thing. So after I had open heart surgery, I've had this thing where, like, I'll just be minding my own business, and I'll have these little yellow, like, they're like bright light, like little fishies fly by your eyes. Like, you're like a heartbeat monitor. Like, they come out of nowhere. Like, I never had those before. Now I have like these, I'll see these lights flash by me, and I'll be like, this can't be good. And then someone tells me they have a detached retina. This is another thing I don't want any part of. Like, having, how about these other people? What do you do? 34 C's to do corneal transplant surgeries. I'm like, I don't want a corneal transplant of detached retina. I mean, fighters get that kind of stuff, right? These fighters get these eye injuries, and they're never the same. And then when they're like 60 and 80, they're blind, is what they are.
Yes, which is not a good thing. Kevin Durant, of course, was on that Steve Nash and LeBron podcast. They released the second part of that extravaganza, I guess, last night or today. Durant and Steve Nash exposed what really went wrong in Brooklyn. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of it. They blamed everybody but themselves. That's what they did.
Yeah.
They blamed everyone except themselves for what happened in Brooklyn.
Well, let me just say that he, first of all, Nash can't coach. We got a nice full, vision of that. We all saw that he couldn't coach with a detached retina or otherwise. I saw that he couldn't coach. He should coach soccer or something. Isn't he a big soccer player? So go do that. Because have you noticed he's never had a coaching job since? That's how bad he was. Okay, so if you're even decent in the NBA, you'll have 7 jobs coaching. This guy had 1, and no one touched him again. Secondly, every time Durant put the ball on the deck when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, the ball got stolen. Just remember that. He was awful in Brooklyn.
Also, KD feels like that he's now the, quote, Achilles guy. He said Tatum and Dame Time both reached out to him because he's the Achilles guy, right? I guess KD's the guy.
He's the most popular guy to have an Achilles lately. He's like Kobe, is gone. So I'm the guy now. I'm the one. Everybody's flavor of the week.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
One that really sticks out to me the most, George, and he's having a fantastic season, is James Wood of the Washington Nationals. I mean, yes, Cal Raleigh's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He's like a candidate for MVP of the American League. But every time I look up, George, James Wood is either getting 5 hits or being walked 4 times in a game. What a season for this guy.
And he's so young. What are you, 22? So what a future this kid has ahead of him.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Cooper flag against Bronny James feels like Mike DeCourcy against Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. I mean, let's be real about this. We're talking about a generational prospect in Cooper Flag and LeBron's kid who averaged 5.5 points in his 1 year of Division I basketball. I'm not saying LeBron is a poor player, but I don't see him as an equal attraction or an equal.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
You don't want a big that's camped out under the basket and clogging the lane. He provides a lot of really good defense, a lot of three-point shooting, and again, younger than Brook Lopez. It is a good match. I just don't think it moves the needle, but as we talked about to open the show, when Giannis Antetokounmpo was saying, we're not just going to sit here this year and say, oh, Dame's down, let's just take a pause year because I'd rather go try to chase a championship. So at least they're being honest and saying, we're going to make this team better.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so Summer League was hot last night in Utah and in Cali, and tomorrow they start up in Sin City, Temecula, beautiful down Vegas, baby.
They certainly do. So they finished up in Utah and Cali. The Sixers beat the Grizz 91-90. Judah Mintz had 26 points for the Sixers. The Jazz beat OKC 86-82. Walter Clayton Jr. had 20 points for the Jazz. So your boy
he did a lot more than that in that game. He had it all going. Dime, steals, you name it. What didn't he do?
He was. In Cali, the Heat beat the Warriors 93-79. Lakers beat the Spurs 89-88. Dalton Knecht had 25. Darius Baisley, 27 points, 13 boards for the Lakers as well. The Vegas Summer League, as you know, will begin tomorrow. So I know you're excited about this because what does that also mean? It's like 10 days of having afternoon basketball too, right? Like a lot of games in the afternoon that you can watch if there's maybe no baseball on or et cetera, et cetera. So 3:30 East tomorrow, Pelicans and Timberwolves actually start the NBA Vegas Summer League.
Which is great because, look, when they have the home run derby Monday, Tuesday's the game, Sunday's the draft, which no one gives a rat's ass about. I mean, if you get a great player on your team, yippee-ki-yay. And then, but no one really sits around watching that thing, do they? Like, isn't it like 50 rounds?
Well,
I can't even take it. But Tuesday they'll play the game, and then there's nothing until Friday with baseball. So the fact that every single day for 10 days from Thursday until the following Sunday is NBA basketball, and I'm talking about literally like 10, 15 games a day. It's going to be great.
I just checked. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week, there are 7 games each day in the NBA Summer League. And then on Thursday, there's 8 games. So you get at least 7 games all 4 days, Monday through Thursday next week. And as you know, a bunch that start in the afternoon. I mean, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30. So you're going to get some going on while the show's happening, too. So we'll get a little NBA Summer League.
But the Open Championship, the difference is that the Open's at, 5 in the morning, which is when I get up to play basketball. So I will be able to see it for a little bit. Then when I get back from basketball at like 7:30, it's still on. I mean, the meat of it's on at 7:30.
Yeah.
They basically go from 5 till noon. Isn't that about it? It's like 5 to noon is the golf every day, and then from 3 until bedtime is NBA. It's actually a fantastic week.
Usually the last groups get in about 1:30, 2 o'clock Eastern time is when the last guys get off the course for this weekend for the British. That's usually what it boils down to.
I want to go to that, Mike, bucket list. That is something I've never done, is go to the Open Championship. Now, I've been to the Masters. I've been to everything, the U.S. Open, the PGA. I've been to 50 golf tournaments, and I played in a bunch of them. And then the Pro-Ams. But I've never gone to the Open Championship, which is a massive fail. I need to do that before I'm dead.
Well, and look, I would go to any of these places. Obviously, they have a rotation of the same couple courses that they use. Like next year, they're in Royal Birkdale. They go back to St. Andrews in 27, Carnoustie, Muirfield, Birkdale, Royal Liverpool. So I go to any of them. Obviously, St. Andrews.
I go to Portrush because it's in Northern Ireland. I want to go to Belfast. I want to go to Ireland. And my whole family's been there. They're all from there. And, on my wife's side. And the bottom line is I would go to Portrush. When are they doing it there again? It's now and then it's probably in 10 years.
They actually don't have it listed past St. Andrews in 27. They only have Birkdale and St. Andrews 26 and 27. And they don't have listed anything beyond that. So I guess they're still working on the rotation for it. Do I have the odds to win the Summer League? I'm not sure if we got those. I'm not sure if they put the odds up yet or not.
Odds to
but
win
at least tomorrow. Summer League. Well, somebody does win. So
I know,
that
but how
does
do you
happen.
call that? It's impossible.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people probably pick Dallas because of Cooper Flag or something like that. They'll go with something. But it's usually there. It is. Utah is the favorite. Utah, Toronto, Washington,
Dallas
Minnesota.
isn't even mentioned.
Not even mentioned. Those are your favorites to win the NBA Summer League. All right. I told you yesterday, talking season has begun in college football. Big 12 media weeks. I'll probably save you a couple of these for tomorrow. Let's at least start our football talking season with Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark. Of course, we love Brett. Last year, only one team was in the college football playoff from the Big 12. He's hoping that number gets extended, and he's also hoping that they move to 16 teams and there's no other automatic bids besides one for these conferences.
I fully expect the Big 12 to earn multiple college football playoff bids this year and to show once again that we can compete with anyone. Speaking of the CFP, we continue to believe the 5-11 model proposed by the Big 12 and the ACC is the right playoff format for college football. We want to earn it on the field. We do not need a professional model because we are not the NFL. We are college football, and we must act like it. There is nothing in sports like college football, and we must protect what makes it special and do what's right for the fans and the game.
I got to be honest with you. I think he's right. I love college football and college basketball beyond the NBA and NFL. I really do. I think it's just fantastic. There is nothing like college football and college basketball.
and I agree with him with that 5 plus 11. That means, there's been talk about automatic 4 SEC teams or automatic 4 Big Ten teams. He's saying just the 5 champions, 11 at-larges, no matter where they're from. And I think that's
I agree with that.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
One that really sticks out to me the most, George, and he's having a fantastic season, is James Wood of the Washington Nationals. I mean, yes, Cal Raleigh's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He's like a candidate for MVP of the American League. But every time I look up, George, James Wood is either getting 5 hits or being walked 4 times in a game. What a season for this guy.
And he's so young. What is he, 22? So what a future this kid has ahead of him.
Fantasy Sports Today. Only on SportsGrid.
Cooper flag against Bronny James feels like Mike DeCourcy against Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. I mean, let's be real about this. We're talking about a generational prospect in Cooper Flag and LeBron's kid who averaged 5.5 points in his 1 year of Division I basketball. I'm not saying LeBron is a poor player, but I don't see him as an equal attraction or an equal.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
You don't want a big that's camped out under the basket and clogging the lane. He provides a lot of really good defense, a lot of three-point shooting, and again, younger than Brook Lopez. It is a good match. I just don't think it moves the needle. But as we talked about to open the show, when Giannis Antetokounmpo was saying, we're not just going to sit here this year and say, oh, Dame's down, let's just take a pause here because I'd rather go try to chase a championship. So at least they're being honest and saying, we're going to make this team better.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Speaking of leftovers, Carver High, I know you're going to dive into it, but I am having Chopper's world-famous smash burgers this evening. I'm excited about that. It's a strong effort. I could eat about 4 of them.
How about that? The smash burgers tonight. That's what it's all about. I'll take 2.
Fantastic.
I'm hungry.
I mean, to tell you,
gotta have it. Gotta have it. All right, and I'll save you. I'm going to play you all those coaches from the Big 12 tomorrow. We will effort spending more time on college football tomorrow on Coast to Coast because I know I've got the guys who talked today as well. Those guys talked yesterday. Today, Dion talked. We had a whole bunch of guys talk today at Big 12.
We'll rack it up.
So we'll rack all of them up tomorrow. All right, Bucks left tackle Tristan Wirfs. He had knee surgery. He'll start the season on the PUP list. Not the way you want to start the year with your all-pro left tackle laid up and not being able to play. Very unfortunate for them. Washington, the football team, formerly known as, but now will never be known as the Commanders, released these throwbacks today. They kind of look like the old Redskin uniforms, and that's what they were going for. Look at this. The Commanders reveal throwback uniforms. How about that? Just make them the permanent uniforms.
I don't notice any difference at all.
They have all they need to do is just put the old logo on the helmet, and they'd go back to the Redskins.
Well, the other one I sent you is actually legit. I know you didn't run it, but
it was a little too late of an entry. So tomorrow, I know what you're referring to, the helmet for the Saints, right? We're gonna have the Saints helmet in tomorrow.
Now that's
tomorrow
a different
we
look.
will show that. That is a much different look indeed. Hockey trade for you. Tampa Bay trades the rights to Hobie Baker winner Isaac Howard, who basically, for whatever reason, did not want to play for Tampa Bay. He was the Hobie Baker winner at Michigan State. He now goes to Edmonton for Sam O'Reilly, another young kid. Howard immediately signed his entry-level contract with Edmonton, so he will now
Has there
be a
ever
part
been
of the
a
Oilers
hockey player in the NHL named Isaac?
It would. I would have to say maybe no. I'm sure
doubtful.
it has, but it's who knows. AJ DeBonsa, of course, BYU signs historic trading card and memorabilia deal with Topps. So getting $7 million wasn't enough. He needed more money.
Yeah, this kid is loaded. I mean, I can't wait to watch him play because I have never seen a college kid never play one game ever and have this much capital in his pockets.
Honestly, I can't wait either. This guy's got to be. Flagg was pretty good last year. He better exceed what Cooper Flagg did.
You'd think that he doesn't even exist, Cooper Flagg, with what they're giving this kid.
Yeah, it's true. The Big East and ESPN have reunited, a 6-year media rights deal. You'll see some Big East games back on the leader. Jeannie Buss will remain the Lakers governor for the next 5 years after the sale. There are some that think that that's not going to happen.
When I see it. Yeah, I'm
know,
one of them.
like you have said that too. I agree. I can't imagine that guy who's buying the team is going to want to keep her around for the whole 5 years. But
who does that? Like, they always say that to help in the transition of a purchase of a business entity, sports franchise, or fiscal, or I've seen it in television and radio multiple times in my career. And every single time to a man, the guy in charge was thrown out the window. I mean, it's just automatic.
It's usually what happens.
Who buys something and lets the old people run it? That's like buying a house and letting the people live there with you.
Stay in the basement. You guys stay in the basement for a little while. Let us know
honestly,
how the house works.
What is happening here?
I don't know. SGA will be on the cover of NBA 2K26. Carmelo Anthony will be on the cover of the Superstar Edition of NBA 2K26, in case you wanted to pick that up.
Aren't we past all that? I'd rather see his kid on the cover of it.
And
they're also putting that Reese chick on there with him. As if anyone needs more of her effing painful ass. And I almost dropped a massive bomb right there. I mean, did you see me? I was full into it.
They're getting closer to opening Trout National, the golf club that Trout's building with Tiger. It looks like
it's magnificent. It's better than Augusta.
Trout National. Yeah, be playing the majors there in 40 years from now.
It's
so nice.
Trout
National.
Check out SportsGrid TV and radio tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 on the Coast.
Cooper Flagg against Bronny James feels like Mike DeCourcy against Mike Tyson. I'm sorry. I mean, let's be real about this. We're talking about a generational prospect in Cooper Flagg and LeBron's kid who averaged 5.5 points in his 1 year of Division I basketball. I'm not saying LeBron is a poor player, but I don't see him as an equal attraction or an equal.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Things you have to look at is what the team has the following day, especially when it comes to bullpen usage. A lot of the things I like to attack is you see these extra inning games, these games get drawn out, these bullpens get worn, or if someone gets shelled the first 3 innings and they got to go to the pen, early, that's a good spot to kind of hop in the middle of the next game. You got a tired bullpen, right? You try and take advantage there, maybe with an over, maybe with the money line. We're getting plus money on a favorite at that point.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Of an interesting couple of weeks in California. If you recall, I think it was 2 weeks ago, language was inserted into a bill that would outlaw or ban sweepstakes casinos and sports betting, which of course we've seen lots of that happen this year. So California is an interesting market because, as you've said, there is no legal online casino. There is no legal online sports betting.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Devin Booker had to run the point when Chris Paul was hurt. And we're like, Devin Booker's a point guard. Devin Booker's not a point guard. Neither is Jalen Green. So I need to know, once you get rid of Bradley Beal, who cannot be on that team, who is the point guard? And then I think as a sixth man, I actually don't mind it with Jalen Green.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.